Show with Jody
and Alex Misiak.
And today is a special day in this house, or our house.
Yeah, like how many different
in our
things,
home.
how many different things are we doing? Like how many we have our.
So today is our actual wedding anniversary.
Yep.
And
happy anniversary.
Thank you, honey. Happy anniversary to you too. And this coming Sunday is Father's Day, so we celebrate that, and because I think it's a little special, special to celebrate, and then we want to wish all the fathers out there a happy Father's Day as well.
Yep. Absolutely. Happy Father's Day to all fathers, old, new. If you're a new father, yeah, congratulations.
And good luck.
And good luck.
Nice.
Yes. Yep. Nope. That's it.
But yeah, so today I thought it'd be really cool to kind of let Alex, drive this podcast episode. A lot of the time I kind of take over and I kind of guide it. But today I wanted to do something a little different, and I want him to be open about what it's like to be a dad. We did share a little bit about it when it was around Mother's Day, but I really want you to share what it's like to be a dad, and then also what it's like to be married to an entrepreneur, me. Yeah. So you can just share your opinions, and it's kind of, this is all about there are two sides to every story. So I really want to hear yours, and I think it's great to celebrate, this day is about us as a couple, and then also Father's Day. So, letting people in on our inside, the inside scoop per se, about this episode. So.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll get right into it then. Let's start with the father aspect of it. So yeah, I'm the dad of two wonderful human children and two wonderful furry children, I suppose. Because I consider myself a cat dad too, and the cats are a lot easier to take care of than
sometimes, not always.
Sometimes, that's true. They have their own things, but being a dad has been an incredible journey. It really has been, and it's going to continue to be that kind of incredible journey where I'm never quite sure how things are going to go. I know. For us, when we decided to get married, it was a big decision for me that because I knew you wanted kids, and I had to decide okay, if we're gonna get married, because the marriage part is in my mind was really easy. It's I love you, you're wonderful, I want to support you in everything you do. Marrying you that's a no brainer. But I knew that you wanted kids, so I'm like, okay, that's I need to think about that one. I need to decide, do I want kids? And I decided yes. I do want kids, not for you, but for me. That was the other important thing. I don't have that much experience with too many failed relationships other than what I've seen on TV. But I'm like, this is when you bring kids into the world, there's no you don't get to take them back.
That's even what the one nurse said. It's it's too late for take backs. Yeah, when Anastasia was born.
Yeah, it's here you go. It's too late for take backs. And you were over the moon for her, and she was so beautiful when she was this tiny thing. She's still beautiful. Yeah, both kids are. But yeah, yeah. So I had to come to terms with what I wanted and why I wanted it. And now it's 5 years later, almost 6, I guess, 5.5.
Yeah, 5.5.
Yeah. 5.5 since Anastasia was born, and we've got both kids, and they are amazing, and they surprise me, and they've taught me so much. Now I've definitely changed a lot as well. For the kids, for you, for myself, and there's more growth that needs to happen there for sure, that I feel I need to do, so that I can be my best self. And by being my best self, then that improves their lives and your life. But when it comes to being a dad, it is just so I'm so surprised all the time. They the games they come up with the outlook they have on life, with how they interact with other people, other kids, animals, everything. It's just so fascinating to me. It's a treat too, because both of our kids seem to be little mini versions of you, which is adorable. Because you're oh yeah, I used to do that when I was a kid. I was a potted plant when I was a kid. I don't think that every kid's different, obviously, and my parents loved me and my brother very much, but I was a potted plant. I just sat there for a lot of the time. I was very calm. I would, by comparison to my two kids, who are bundles of energy, like balled up energy. I took Jaden for a walk, and like he just took off. I'm like, I don't think I ever did this as I'm running after my own kid.
And it is funny that you say that though, because there are moments where I'm like, yeah, I kind of look like Anastasia looks like me, or I can see that. But then there's moments where I'm like, Anastasia or Jaden will do something, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I did exactly that as a kid. Or like, I literally now have flashbacks where I'm like, I remember doing exactly the same thing as a kid.
Yeah.
So it's pretty funny.
So that's the being the father thing, and it's I have no idea what the future holds. More surprises, I'm sure, and I'm glad I decided that I wanted kids, because I couldn't ask for better kids. They've taught me so much. I'm still learning.
I think it's going to be an always learning thing.
Yeah.
But there's a moment where I was like, wow, Anastasia did something. I'm trying to remember as you were sharing. I was trying to remember the moment that happened just recently. But they just, when we might not be calm, they really put us in our place.
Oh yeah. Yeah, for sure. They are.
Like they really help us become grounded sometimes.
Yes.
And it's really an incredible thing.
Yeah.
Not that we should, our kids aren't there to, help us, but they do just do that naturally, which is really incredible. It just shows that on our bestest days, we're doing something to help them, go through their hard emotions. 'Cause like we help them when, they're having a bad day or they're upset or sad. We help them get grounded too. Mm-hmm. So it actually works the same way when we're not in, the best of states ourselves.
Yeah. Well, we recently were doing some work outside, for example, and then we got into a bit of a disagreement.
Well, first I accidentally got hit by something.
Well, yes, of course. Yeah. I mean, there was a bit of a kerfuffle, and then Anastasia is like, guys, we're a family. We work together. It's like,
so listen to each other.
So listen to each other. And we're just like, how old are you again?
I'm like, you're wise very, very wise for a 5-year-old.
Yeah. And it's not like we haven't said that exact phrase to her. We were trying to set good examples. We're trying to do good modeling. We're not perfect, obviously, but we must have done something right, because she was able to take the things that we've been teaching her or modeling, and she came up with her own, like, come back to the fire kind of speech.
Yes.
Right? Like where everyone's like,
come back
and
like calm down.
Yeah, it was really eye-opening and wonderful, and I'm like, you're 5.5. What do you? So
it's incredible.
It really is incredible. And if I had one thing I could do, if I could go back in time and tell my past self, like, I would say, you're going to be okay. And keep an open mind. So that's what I would tell my past self about the whole, becoming a father thing. And other than that, I like I said, I'm keeping an open mind, and I'm looking forward to a future full of like surprises and laughs and fun, lots of fun.
I'd like to just add that you are an amazing father.
Oh, dude.
And yes, we've been throwing some really, some big curveballs when Jaden was born, because you were like the most patient, loving father when Anastasia was born. And you're still that, but like Jaden's definitely tested your buttons a little bit more than Anastasia.
He's a lot better at pushing my buttons.
No.
And
like he knows it too. He has that little
Yeah, that little impish thing that he does. Yeah, definitely my well of patience has gone down. So I need to,
but like you were like the most patient father ever, and it was really cute to see you cuddle with Anastasia. Jaden didn't do the whole letting you lay on or having him lay on you, even with me. But he loves his cuddles now, so he's making up for it now. But you have always been there for our kids, so that is really amazing.
Yeah.
So thank you.
I'm thankful that I have the kind of career and job where I can be there. So to all you dads that have the opportunity or some opportunities where you can spend time with your kids, take it. And to all you dads that don't, for whatever reason, whatever time you can have, take it. Like there'll be if you've got a 9 to 5 office job, physical labor job, whatever, shift work, whatever, there will be downtime. There always is. Like even my dad who worked like midnight shifts, whatever, he still was able to, like when he was able to, he took the time and he would like, okay, like guys, let's go to the beach or let's go sledding or, so whatever you can do as a dad. And like we talked about this in the last podcast, do your best for that. That's your best you can do.
Always do your best.
Always do your best.
So no more, no
no
less.
more and no less. And you can use that guilt, stressed gauge to figure out where you are in that sweet spot. And if you're there with your kids, they're going to feel that and it'll fill your cup. And you're doing exactly what you need to be doing. So that's my advice to all the other fathers out there. Not that you need to take any of that advice because everybody's different. Every kid's different. But that's definitely, yeah, there we go. There's another thing I can go back and tell my past self once I figure out that time machine thing. Yeah. So
what was that? What were you going to tell your past self again?
Well, I was going to say you're going to be okay.
Oh, but it was the last one.
Oh, the last one is always, always do your best, no more and no less.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Right.
But yeah, and it really is incredible, and not like you said, not everybody has the opportunity to work from home. We're very fortunate. Our kids do feel it though. Like when you aren't around, then Jaden's like, "Where's Daddy?" So it does show that they really are excited. But then the absence makes the heart grow fonder too. So this is not about making anybody feel bad about not being able to stay home. Sometimes you're just not able to.
Yeah.
I had 2 working parents, and so did you. So, like, sometimes, you need to...
Two parents who worked out of the house.
Yeah, out of the house, yes. Well, working from the home wasn't really a thing back, like, unless you were, like, a babysitter or something like some kind of... Because, the internet wasn't around back
Good
then.
point, yeah.
So, you don't always have that, and that's okay. It's working with what you have, and like you said, always doing your best. So, yeah.
Awesome. Okay. So that's
what it's like to be married to an entrepreneur that always has all these wonderful, crazy, outrageous ideas. Like, let's do that. Let's do a podcast together.
Yeah. Going back a year, let's do a podcast together. I'm like, sure. Like, okay, if this is a thing you want to do, I'm all in.
I was like, I have an idea.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we can start there, and then it's with when you have an idea. Being married to an entrepreneur is going to be, you're married to an idea person. And idea people are great. That's how we have everything that we have, if you think about it.
Even the couches, the chairs. Somebody had to come up with that.
Somebody way back when was like, let's not live in caves anymore.
And let's not sit on the ground anymore.
Let's not sit in the ground anymore. Let's not like eat raw food. Let's figure out, the ideas that are engendered by people, like, and then it's the realization of that idea. So by being married to an entrepreneur person who happens to be full of wonderful ideas, it's been a learning experience and an opportunity for growth, or a challenge, if you want to put it in a point on it, to help you realize those ideas. Because that's my nature, is like, okay, when someone has an idea, it's like, okay, great. Now how do we achieve that idea? How does that manifest? How does that come to fruition?
But we've also had to work on you not being a fixer sometimes.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm like, I just need a soundboard.
There's definitely a difference between...
Because I am also a very great problem solver most of the time. So I just need to actually talk it out.
Yeah. And at least for me, being married to you, it's, being supportive, again, keeping an open mind.
Like saying yes to the podcast.
Saying yes to yes to your trip to San Francisco.
Well, you didn't say yes because I was like, I'm going.
Fair enough. I didn't stop you.
You just supported me. You're like, hey, how can we make? Because I'm like, I'm going. How do we make this work? How do we make this
happen? Yeah, because I still have to work. We have the kids, and you're right. Yes, that's right.
How do we make this happen?
So yeah, it's more about, maybe it's more like yes man. It's more about saying yes, and not denying not saying no, just off the cuff, like just being like, yes, now let's think about how we can do that. And it has been like for me personally watching you, because it's been it's a growth for you as well, right? Like,
yes, definitely.
So,
huge.
Yeah. Like we're definitely not the same people that we were when we got married.
No.
Right? We've changed,
not even close.
We've changed a lot. But we're still together, so that's good.
Right? But like the change is definitely huge. Like and it's we're celebrating 6 years today. 6 years. So 6 years ago, like we become parents. I've gone through the SWAT Institute and become a certified master empowerment coach. Mm-hmm. And that alone on that journey was a 3-year journey of some serious personal growth. Mm-hmm. And then you've kind of like, without even knowing it, I think have kind of jumped on that ship and kind of sailed with me. And so like 6 years, I know personally speaking, I have changed a huge amount in those 6 years. And then obviously starting a business, like that has, talk about stepping out of your comfort zone.
Yeah. And well, on that note, shoot, I
mentioned 6 years.
No, it was about the fact that being married to an entrepreneur, and being supportive. That like there are definitely going to be there are going to be challenges, and I don't want to say the word. I want to think of like obstacles, but not really they are obstacles.
They can be obstacles.
Obstacles, yeah.
That's a great word.
Sure, obstacles, challenges, obstacles, things to overcome, and it is so far out of what I grew up observing, for one, right? Because neither of my parents are entrepreneurs. No one in my family was an entrepreneur, really.
Neither of mine.
Very hard workers, but not necessarily on like entrepreneurial spirit. So it was like there's a lot of learning, and there's some hard times when, if you're having a rough time, like I'm sensitive and I love you, and so I feel that too, but that's not a bad thing. That means I care about you. Yes. So it's not a bad thing, and I don't want that not to be there. I want to be supportive and helpful. But that's if you are married to an entrepreneur, or if you're the person you have married decides to become an entrepreneur, there is definitely going to be some new areas of friction. How's that?
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Some new areas of friction.
But the fun thing is, even before we got married, I actually had a company, like I had a business before
that's
that.
True, yes,
so like
right.
New to the entrepreneur world, like I just dove deeper in.
Yes.
This time around. The other ones was me trying to continue my fashion design since I went to school for it. So I started a clothing line and things like that. So that alone, because I did everything by myself, so that was even more crazy. Yeah. So it's not like you didn't know that I've pretty much my whole life I wanted to be an entrepreneur. So that was kind of there. Just want to put that.
You've doubled down.
Yeah.
since the days that we got married. It's the early days of marriage, which is.
Well, back then I was thinking more of a business owner instead of an entrepreneur.
True.
So I was thinking small when I did that, and now I have a huge think big.
Much bigger pictures.
Yes.
Yeah.
And possibilities.
And I guess that's the takeaway there, is that there are going to be new areas of friction, but that's okay because it's growth.
Yes, exactly. I was going to say the same thing. Yeah, when you have friction or obstacles, that's when you grow. If we didn't have any of that, it would be, at one point I was like, why do I have all these struggles or obstacles? And I thought that's what I thought at one point. And that's more of a victim mentality, thinking about why is this happening? Instead of now when something happens, what am I going to learn from this? I'm excited because, and there was a point where I'm I thought back, I'm if I didn't have all this, life would be boring. At one point, I'm if I had none of this, life would be easy and breezy and just comfortable. That's where I was yes, I want things to just flow. And you can actually have life flow with obstacles and struggles going on. But it's the moment that you're and you think of it as a victim, Like, why is it happening? Or like, poor me, or any of those things, like, God, and you get all angry or sad about it. That's when you go against the current. But when you're like, oh, cool. Like, I get excited now when I'm like, something, I don't want to use the word bad, but something happens that I wasn't planning on. Because that's all an obstacle is. Yeah. Something you weren't planning on happening. We can't plan out every area of our life. We can't, like, I'm not saying don't plan and don't set goals, because I am totally a planner and a goal setter. However, life is happening right now in this moment. We can't control everything. So have a plan, have goals, and we've mentioned this before, but just allow to go with the flow and the current. And when you do, things, will pop up, but instead of them being like, a detour, like even on a road where you're like, oh, detour. Here's a great example. If you're on you're on to work, you're going to work and you're running late, you run into a detour. Oh my goodness, I'm going to be late.
That's one mindset.
That's one mindset. That's when you think like, oh, like, why are they having this detour today on this route? Blah, blah, blah. Why didn't they put like signs up and let me know? And they probably did put signs up. You just didn't notice because life is busy. Then think about it and you're like, you're in a good mood. I'm going to work. I have time. Let's jam to some good music. Oh, detour, no big deal. Like, I'll just take the next road. Or when you're in a different, it's like, or I get to see a different way to, I get to try a new route to work today, or whatever it may be. But, or even when you're just going on a vacation, like usually when you're going on a detour, it's like, oh, no big deal. Cause you're not so stressed about the end game or where you're going. It's just, you're going.
Yeah. Either way, you're going to get to work.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. So it's just,
to your goal.
Yeah.
Right?
So
if you keep
just
your eye,
breathe, and enjoy the process. So. Anyway, sorry, I got you a little bit railroaded.
There you go. There's something for others that are either married to an entrepreneur and already learning it, or maybe struggling with it. Just breathe and go with the flow. So I hope that's giving our listeners some insight into my life as a dad and as a man married to a wonderful woman who is also an entrepreneur.
Well, it's not even that. Like, you actually helped me with my business as well. So
yeah,
you're not just married; right. You're part of it.
I should touch on that as well. As I do, as being supportive means more than just words of comfort and being there. It's I try to contribute. I try to help. And then that leads to wonderful things too. We get to connect in different ways. We get to do this podcast as a new way of us connecting.
But it also means that we have to be very mindful of our time together.
Yes.
Because there's been times where you have to get something done for work, I have to get something done for work, and we're both sitting on the couch at night on our computers.
Yeah.
So that's great, but that's why we have Friday night date nights.
Yes.
And I sometimes get mad at you when you're trying to do laundry or something, where I'm like, no, we got to set everything down.
Yeah. Housework included.
Yes, everything. So it's just being mindful of time, especially since we both work from home.
Yeah.
So that's a huge one. And that's just from like an entrepreneur / working from home kind of thing. You got to set boundaries. Agreed.
And
personal and business.
Lucky for me, you're the kind of entrepreneur that when you've got hats and you put them on and you take them off.
I try really hard. You
try really hard. And I'd say you succeed more often than you do not. And it's pretty obvious actually when you still have your entrepreneur hat on.
I'm like, shh, I'm writing something down.
Exactly. Yeah. Like I meant, it's pretty easy. So if you're married to an entrepreneur and you're like, I wish they had, more time for just us or just me or whatever, then it's just a matter of communication. That's good. Having lots of communication and being like, look, like the date nights that we've set out, we take the hats off, right?
All of them.
Other
than like our own,
mom, dad,
house cleaner,
all that stuff,
all that fun stuff.
All those things, take it all off and just be. So I'd look forward to, the summer months or the warmer, how about not even warmer, drier weather, and we can be out on our deck together, you and me, having a coffee in the morning, for example, or a tea in the evening or something like that. And those...
Don't forget the wine.
Right. There's lots of that too on date nights. Maybe that's my piece of advice, I suppose.
Slow down and enjoy each other.
Slow down and enjoy each other. Make that time for each other, because as I've noticed, but you're, like I said, you're really good about taking off that hat, but it's really easy as an entrepreneur to just be, well, I'm always working, right? Mm-hmm. Some people have the wrong idea about entrepreneurs. They're like, oh, they just work whenever they want to. It's like, yes, but they can easily fall into the trap of, I'm going to work all the time.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? And that can lead to lots of issues in a relationship and to the self.
One of the biggest things I talk about, though, is self-love. And then obviously self-care ties into self-love. And I have to practice what I preach.
Yes.
So if I'm constantly working, 24/7, I'm not taking time for me, I'm not taking time for you, I'm not taking time for the kids, I feel that I'm not actually practicing what I preach. And I think it's super important to actually walk my talk.
Yeah.
So I definitely, any advice I give, I don't do it all the time. I'll fall into habits as well. Just like anybody, I'm also human. I'm not perfect. I do stumble sometimes, but I do use my own tools to pick myself up and get back into, the flow of life.
So I guess, a recommendation to our listeners then is, if you happen to be married to an entrepreneur like I am, but that entrepreneur isn't in the sphere of self-love and self-care, give this podcast a listen, and the rest of our podcasts too. Bring them over and have them listen to it with you or on their own time.
That's an excellent thing as a couple, actually, is when you love something, it's not forcing it. Like I mentioned last episode about, I wanted you to read a book and I didn't force it. I just recommended it. It's also just being like, hey, you want to listen to this podcast together? You can actually bring, your significant other into what you're enjoying.
Yeah.
But doing it in a loving way, not like, hey, you need to listen to this or whatever. It's just like, because it's all, it's about sharing, but sometimes that person isn't ready to read or listen to something, and that's okay too. Like, that's why I never encourage people to buy my packages or my programs. And when I offer courses, I won't recommend anybody buy it as a gift for anybody. That the person that needs it needs to do the steps of signing up, because if you buy it for somebody else, they might not be ready. Like, you think that is what we think
they need it,
yeah.
But they're not going to accept it or work or get any benefit out of it if they're not the ones doing that initial step.
Exactly.
Putting their skin in the game.
So you need, so that's why when you encourage somebody to listen to something with you, it's do it from a place of love. And if they are like, no, not right now, they're like, just let them plant that seed and let it grow. And when they're ready, they'll come to it.
Go back to the archives. Find the one where I talk about how I set our snowblower on fire. If that doesn't hook them, I'm not sure what will.
I think that was in March, maybe. Yeah. I feel March or April, maybe beginning of April.
I'll put the comments in I'll put the link or something to the exact episode and the details for this one. Okay. All right. And with that, I hope we've said, I hope you guys have gotten to know me a little bit better, and my life as a dad, my life as married to a wonderful woman who also happens to be an entrepreneur.
Well, we hope you have a beautiful day.
Bye for now.